All right, guys, I guess we'll start with you guys introducing yourself for the camera, please.
Carl Limburner.
Stephen Baker.
Zach Noga.
Ruben Richardson, a small business owner in Townsville.
So, are you guys from any particular tribe?
I'm actually a local man. I'm a Bindle man, but also of the Berry Gubba Nation and also Carnjew from up at Cape York.
Yeah, I'm Australian.
I'm a Jitterbal man with Yalanji roots with a dash of Kanaka.
Rightio. So you guys have just gone in to have a yarn with the Premier to perhaps propose some solutions, because it seems the Labor Party's kind of run out of ideas. What was it that you proposed?
I proposed a 20-year plan for the outcomes of this community. The 20-year plan will involve a multitude of setups, set up with our business, our company, to actually get a intensive outreach service. There's multiple levels of what we're trying to deliver in community, but it's basically just getting the 20-year plan started. If we can get it started now today, it would be great. Yeah.
So what are some of the basic details in that plan?
We're taking a different approach. Basically, we don't like to stand in the mentality of victimisation or victim mentality. No, that's not what we are or who we are. We actually see the problems for what they are, but we're also sourcing solutions and strategies to actually make the problems go away instead of just whinging about it. So it's taking a different perspective, a different point of view, and basically coming with a solution instead of just more questions to the proposal, I suppose, and what we're actually being brought here today for. So it's, getting that across, just a 20-year plan on what we're trying to actually do.
So what's some of the details, though? Am I correct in assuming that you kind of want to work with the whole family as opposed to just the people who are committing the crimes?
Well, yeah, definitely. Youth crime is a big thing here at the moment. Youths have got to come from a household. If there's problems in the household, I think that's where the answers are going to lie. I don't think the answers lie within the courthouse, within the politicians' realms. I don't think answers don't actually rely on bail reforms. I think the answers to our problems are in the community. They're our kids that we're actually dealing with that are going against the system. We need to fix that. We need to be the leaders in this, not no politicians, not no bail law, not a courthouse. I think what we need to do is we need to unite here in our community instead of these divisions. Once we unite, I think the 20-year plan is going to run quite smoothly.
And rebuild the family unit, so a focus on the family unit, the most fundamental building block of our community, making sure that that's at the forefront. We also proposed really multi-pronged across the section. We can't have kids cruising around for days on end with stolen cars where it becomes quite fun, like a big game to them. It just is counterproductive. We can't have the Cleveland being a place where they want to go to, where it's better than their home life. So the home life, ideally, if we can rebuild those homes and be able to ensure the kids have a safe place to sleep and are getting a good education, it'll do magic.
Yeah, if we can focus on the families where the actual children are coming from, I think we're going to find a lot of answers there. The answers will be, why aren't they at home? What's happening in the home life that they don't want to be there, that they're out stealing cars? They're the answers I'd like to know. Once we get those answers, what are we going to formulate from that? And I think this is the start of change, taking a different approach instead of letting our politicians take the lead. This is why we're here today, because they have no idea. And my understanding, they're looking in community for community answers. Community's now responding. Can you get behind us, my community? That's the big question. We focus on the families, and we work with the families, intensive work with the families, to find these difficult answers. This is what we're looking for.
So I love the idea of the unity. Like I've had a few interviews with various other tribes over this year, and the word wordigen comes up quite a bit. You know, the black fella, white fella dreaming, and that seems to be kind of what you guys are doing. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically with the approach we take, it's bringing that tribal life back. We understand that our First Nations people need a voice, but let's have a look at what the classrooms are made up of today. They're not a black and white situation. We've got the world in our pocket, and it's everyone's feels the pinch. So it's no longer a black and white thing. That mentality's got to go. The uniting front has got to come through. Regardless of what walk, race, colour you come from, creed, background, we need to stand as one as a people, and that's the bottom line. Community answers are going to come from community people. If I wanted my car fixed, I'm not going to take it to a baker, am I? I'm going to take it to a mechanic, and this is what we're dealing with. Community answers need to come from community people. So we've brought a brother man here today just to give him a look into what we do and how we actually do it, and also giving brothers a voice from a grassroots community where they're not heard, where we don't hear the good things that are happening with our men. And the men play a big role in the family group. Unfortunate, we're not highly looked upon these days. Is this the reason for our kids being off the planet? You know, so there's a lot of questions I'd like to ask. But
So look, we're dealing with transgenerational trauma. Hey, we're talking with trauma from broken families. We're talking about trauma from a system that is so oppressive. Really needs to be changed. There really needs to be that amalgamation between clinical support and grassroots support, political support, appropriate funding to organisations and groups on a grassroots level that are actually coming out with some pretty profound stuff like this. You know, these guys, I'm involved with these guys in a men's healing group, and the conversations are so open to the point when a man feels free enough to hold open space to be able to let that out. And it's not a psychiatrist, we're probably stopping people from going to the psych ward. And that is profound, you know? Yeah, wow.
yeah, that's exactly what it is, bro. We don't ask for funding. We don't look at the government to say, here, our hand is out, we want this, and we're not that. We're actually trying to seek more opportunities. I understand that working with the government for a future plan is going to be on the cards for us, but at any time we don't play victim mentality and we don't lean on government to actually find us a way home. That's not our approach. We'd like to actually invite our community to stand up now and be a part of what we actually are trying to achieve. And it doesn't matter what colour, race, creed or background you come from. It's what disasters do you have in your family home that we can fix. We fix the family, we're going to have a smooth community.
Sounds pretty good to me, mate. I'm sold. Was the Premier sold though?
I might hand you over to Brother Carl. He speaks a bit more in depth about where we're at with this sort of stuff. I do believe that they did listen and they've made the right priorities to actually meet with us again. So that is a positive in our understanding. It's really...
Time will tell.
That's right. It's really a positive perspective. But yet again, we're not going to leave all our eggs in one basket. So, yeah, I'll get Carl to speak from that perspective.
For me, it's about parities. My wife's white, so I don't. There's no colour about this. But my lost a son to suicide. I'm still trying to get home to a wife that I've been married for 26 years. I'm 5 years separated, still trying to get home with her. I just got my wedding ring back. So it's a journey of healing. But knowing the parities that I can explain to my wife on what the system is perpetrated on, no matter what colour you are now. For us today, they said they're going to get back to us. It's now, there's a timestamp to say, all right, we've made an acknowledgement now. Is there going to be true understanding? Will you reach back? So it's what my people have been doing for a while, but now I'm going to do it with someone else to make them understand. This is what this process is. It's enduring the process of the government. How many other meetings have we been to, yourself and other people? But the emotional attachment of the hurt, the disgust, the dismay, my people have been suffering this for a while. Let's get on parity now, work together and have an understanding together, because it's the same system that's breaking us all down now. There's no upper, middle, lower. It's upper and lower now. That's everyone. My grief, my pain, my despair, my loss has no colour about it. It's an emotion why everyone stood here today, an emotional foray that went wrong way. There was no one who was able to quell it. So how does that reverberate now into grassroots community? How do I now walk around and listen to white people say this about black people say this about white people? This affects my family, not just my family, my mental health. And from the crime and loss and drugs and everything else, I've lost enough. You know, it's taken enough away from me. My brother, my grandson, we're still losing. Death, drugs, incarceration. It does no colour. It's everyone is actually feeling a part of it now. It's about what complex matter you're willing to deal with first to peel away to get to the underlying issue. Drug abuse, homelessness, DV, family violence, incarceration, crime, they all come from a problem of mental health, not being able to deal with what's actually an underlying issue that's in our family. And none of us are even knowing what an emotional contact is. How do you tell someone to regulate their emotions when they don't know what that emotion is? Yeah. Hence, we're dealing with them type of people. And it's not the colour, it's what's been given to them. We're dealing with kids that come out of a system that their parents were in the system, so they've had no parent, but we want to blame the parent. You know? It's not about getting claps and it's about equality of knowledge that's passed down and passed through. It's not about the blame game. It's not about the victim. It's how do we get together now to actually progress forward and understand it from both sides of the fence. Without this man here, we wouldn't have been given this platform. You know, and I'm grateful for this because I don't see this as a black issue. It may be coming from tribal ways and deep roots that have been ingrained from my people, but I believe my people didn't let your people starve when they got lost. That's the ways of my people. Yeah. And it is, let's reverberate, let's get in touch with it, let's find it again and let's go forward together as a common community together. You know, without being, you this, you that, you know, because that's what they want. Because then they can dissect us, because then we're just a bunch of whinging, raving on through our emotions, which we've never learned to regulate for most of my people. And then you come to the fact of when we deal with police or when we deal with anyone, they can say they fear for their emotions and that gives them the right to dictate terms to us. What about my emotions? What I'm actually carrying before you even come to me? You know, these are the people that we deal with, not just kids, the families, and if I'm making sense without blabbering on, it's knowing the underlying issues that someone is carrying. Let's not judge them first. I do not know what you've been through. You don't know my grief or my pain. So let's treat each other as equal. Everyone I treat, everyone that we deal with, we run a 24-hour intensive outreach program. At any time you can call us and we'll come to your door and make sure your mind is settled. But we'll also let your family know what we're doing because they're important to that journey. So we can transfer data and information and work together, triangulating as a family, community, to make sure you're right. Because who else wants to do that after dark?
And that's the meaning of community. It's bringing the focus back to the families. Where we actually have power and unity is in the family group. To have other identities rip the family unit apart, that's where the problems start. Everyone gets a sense of pride and passion and love and all that good stuff when you stand with your family. When you actually line up for a family photo, everyone's feeling that proud moment. How come we're not feeling that today? It's the breakdown of the family group. Let's reconnect them. Let's rebuild the families. Let's build our tribe again. And this tribe is going to be multicultural. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who you are. We've got a multicultural tribe now, and this is how we were labelled in the early 90s or the late 80s as a multicultural society. We're going to take that label now, and we're going to run with it. So it's about healing everyone and not playing the witch hunt and going after the parents. Let's go after the parents and the families. Let's go and help them all instead of just the one. We do that isolation of the family group too well, and this is why we've got no one. So if we can get our focused on our families and building our men to be able to take their roles back in the family group, back in society, we're going to be doing pretty good in a 20-year basis. So it's a lot of work, but we're willing to take that. We'll start at the mountain now.
We've already started
We're
doing
at the foot of the mountain, so we know what the climb is. We know what the work's involved, but we ain't afraid to take it on.
So people out there that are, you know, maybe struggling, you know, you see you've got a men's group and whatnot. How can people in the community reach out to you guys, get involved, or even seek help? We're going to have to zoom in on that. Do you reckon?
Oh, we've got a card, mate. Ruben has it. We'll give you one.
Yep, I'll have that
And-
pop up in the description
Yep,
then.
and for this, mate, it's to put people at mind at ease at a time when they've got no one else to reach out to from the loss I've lost. You know, we've all need someone. In my tribe, it's called the big father, the dad, the uncle, the big brother, the cousin, the nurturer, the guider. That's who I want to be for everyone and anyone. And no judgment, mate. I used to be a drug dealer. I was homeless, wife basher, the perpetrator, victim, the lot all rolled up in one. So who am I to judge? Let's
come
just
out
have
of
a
that
yarn. No, I'm hiding from you. It's just a not judgmental place. It's a consultative healing space with no judgment on anyone's behalf, mate. We're comedian lads. We don't mind a bit of a joke, and we don't call ourselves mentors. We call ourselves tormentors because we actually joke at what the trouble is. We'll find a way to turn it into not so traumatic. But we don't have your answers. Phone up, give us a try, and it's you have your answers. Let's just open the conversation to see what they are.
Awesome. So anybody interested, have a look in the description here. And if you find what these fellas are doing is really interesting, let me know in the description if you want me to chase this story up a little bit further. I know I'm pretty intrigued, and to be honest, I don't think I really need somebody to tell me. I think I might have to chase it up anyway.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thank you
And
much
we'll
for
be
this.
here. We'll be here. No matter how far you chase, we'll be here. So,
Well, thanks heaps for coming on, guys. It's been awesome.
Thank you, Mark.
Oh, look, thank you, Mark. Appreciate
No
it.
worries.
appreciate that. Thank
Not
you
a
very
problem.
much. Thanks, ladies.
Awesome work, guys.
Thanks, cameraman.
Thanks, Tyler.